Cool. Okay.
See the initiative tracker?
Oh yeah. How is that? How do I do that? I have it just written down, but that would be cool for next time. Okay, cool. Um, let's start with like a brief overview of where we last left off, just so we can like get back into the swing of things. Um, so the five of you were on this mission to guard Captain Aramis's ship as he and his crew aboard the Slim Reaper, or just the Reaper for short, as they went from Laki to the Gallon Republic, transporting some mysterious goods, which Gallet and Suma later discovered were actually very illicit, very rare, and very powerful magical creatures. Um, to whom they were transporting that and for what reason, that remains to be seen. But um, uh, trouble arose when every nearby body of water, including glasses of water, buckets of water, and even the ocean itself, began to turn a very strange and eerie shade of red. Those above deck, uh, which includes, at the moment, Buru, Alok, and Ruby, uh, looked off into the sky and saw that the clouds themselves were turning red, and a red mist crept along the waters. And as they stood there watching this occur, a ship rose out of the water, made of red wood and with white sails. It rose up like directly as if it had been submerged the entire time, water spilling out of it. In the middle of this, the stowaway that we had discovered had crept aboard Aramis's ship, revealed themselves to be none other than the person who gave you this mission in the first place, or who at least informed you of it, Sir Gawain, Gawain Redshield, your boy from the Shield. Um, he had snuck on board as a means to find out what exactly was happening to all these newbies, mysteriously being murdered while out on their first couple of missions. And he came face to face, as well as the rest of you, with this ship rising out of the water. Um, Immediately, Aramis decided that he wanted to bail, um, taking Valere with him. But before he could do that, a series of spells were cast that punctured a hole in one of the lifeboats he was attempting to escape to,
Uh,
and another one hitting him.
what? I thought
Right?
there was no holes in the boat.
Yeah, I thought.
Because
No,
Suma shoot
I
lava.
wrote it wrong, and I wrote it wrong originally. I had been zoning out during that moment apparently, and I was like, "Oh, there was a hole, right?" But there wasn't.
He took the hit.
Oh, okay. I'm remembering that wrong. It's okay because I said that there was two lifeboats, and in my head, one of them were punctured, and the other one was going to be used, but they have not escaped yet. Um, we're gonna zoom in on this moment. Um, Suma and Gallet, you took Gawain's words at face value and you went below deck. The rest of you are still on the deck, and before any sort of creatures come out, um, you notice Aramis and Valere standing by one of the lifeboats, and they're having a very they seem to be having a very heated argument, and you catch sight of Aramis taking off his trifold hat, Valere shaping wind into this glowing ball, and placing the hat on top of it and throwing it. And this hat travels all the way down below deck towards you, Gallet and Suma, actually. Um, you are just fresh from discovering that there's a freaky frog inside of that locked room, and you just close the door behind you really fast. And now, of all things, a hat is floating towards you. What do you do when you see this?
I would like to get behind Suma.
Okay.
Okay, I'll pluck the hat out of the air.
Okay. You pluck the hat out of the air, and as you do, this ball of wind kind of bursts around you. It sends everything loose in the hallway, kind of fluttering about. It blows your hair back, and you hear a voice as if Aramis had spoken into this wind, and it was imparted directly towards you. And Aramis is addressing you, Gallet, and he says, "You know, kid, you said something earlier about what it means to be captain. Struck a chord with me. Uh, but I'm a survivor first and a captain second, and I will not go down with the ship if the ship can go down for me. Keep the hat. Maybe it'll fit better on you than it ever did me. Oh, and if any of them make it out of this alive, and you turn and you see, the crewmates still on the ground, unconscious. Maybe a couple in the back are slightly stirring. Aramis says, "Let them know their debt is paid." The wind from whatever it is that Valere did swirls around you, and you feel light, like almost weightless. For the next 24 hours, you two are both under the effects of the spell haste.
Woo!
Dude.
I'm feeling good.
So I believe that's double speed, +2 AC, I think advantage on dex saving throws, and you get one action. But I believe, yeah, one action.
I will hand the hat that I've grabbed to Gallet and just say, "I believe this is yours."
Okay, big day for me. Big day for Gallet. Okay, what do we do with this energy? I'm good. I'll be right back, and I'll open the door to the Emperor Frog.
Okay.
I'll put the hat on. So, Emperor Frog. Hi, I'm the new captain of the ship. I'm sorry that the previous owner abducted you, and there's a little trouble happening right now with some things that mean to do many creatures on here harm. Many of them which they do not deserve it. And I've read that you're quite the powerful individual. You might be a baby, but just checking in, can you just make this go away? Please?
The Emperor Frog does not speak to you. It's kind of floating in this bubble of red liquid, and it like kind of swims towards you, and as it does, like the bubble like floats towards you, and you cannot hear it talk, but like in your mind you see visions as if it is communicating with you solely through pictures. You see a swamp, a nice big comfortable swamp. You feel the sense of being at home, even if maybe you haven't felt that in a while. And most of all, you feel fear. Um, you can sense this thing's fear, and you can tell that while it doesn't exactly know what's out there on the water, what is approaching, uh, you know that it knows that it's trouble. And it looks like it's in a little bit of pain too. You feel a little bit of pain. Roll an insight check for me, either of you, if you chose to follow him there.
Yes, sure.
Oh, that's
Cool.
Well, okay.
9.
It's a frog.
It's a frog and it's in pain. It's probably just scared because there's a lot going on. It was kidnapped from its home very abruptly. This is not its natural habitat. You are unsure of how to help it, but it does seem to trust you a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
With my hasted movement, I'll just, if it allows me, try to like gently grab the bubble.
Okay. You reach out towards the bubble, and as your hand sinks into it, it burns just a little bit. It doesn't like hurt, doesn't deal you any damage or anything, but I think having your skin come into contact with this helps you understand that perhaps if your skin was a porous like membrane, like as an amphibian would have. Like,
Oh, the
this
red
might be
wraith hurts it.
a pretty painful experience
Yeah.
for this being. Um, uh,
Suma, do you know how to make the red go away with magic?
I don't know how to make the red go away, but perhaps we can find something in here that will free it from the bubble at the very least. Unless, I don't know, does it need it to breathe?
Well, it's the natural makeup of a frog includes water to a large degree, and if that affects it, it's
This is
gonna
true.
suck till something changes. No.
I think we need to deal with the red wraith to fix this.
as you say that, like you get the sense that it understands what you're saying, and it jumps onto who's willing to carry this thing on their back for the meantime and get their back a little bit soaked.
I'm a big fan of the frog.
Okay. It kind of just like clings onto your back, like a weird backpack, and you are all set to go. Are you gonna head upstairs onto the deck?
I guess so.
Cool. Okay. With the two of yours hasted movement, I will say that you make it up just in time for this next series of events. Ruby, Alok, and Buru, you are on this deck, looking up the sky, watching this ship come closer. Red water is still like spilling from like the portholes and like off of the deck onto the water. If you've ever seen Pirates of the Caribbean, like how the dead man, like how like Davy Jones' ship looks when it comes out, it's that, but imagine there's like a red filter on it. Um, it rises up out of the air, and Gawain looks very frightened. Um, he's just like gazing up at it, like he's kind of like swaying, and this next bit almost sounds like he's talking to himself at first. But he turns to look at you two. He doesn't. He kind of talks in your direction, Alok, even though like you haven't really made eye contact with him because you've been hiding amidst the crates. And he says, "The tides are changing, and the times are changing with them. These waters used to be safe enough that old men like me got to sit back and twiddle our thumbs as the world went quietly on around us. The last I heard of the Red Wraith, I was a child, leaning closer to a campfire as the old sea captain across from me spun his tall tales of the sea. But if it has returned, then I have no doubt in my mind that he's but the beginning. An age of suffering is upon us. It is precisely in times like these that the shield must remain ever raised." And you see he unpins his shield emblem, like from his cloak, and he lifts it to the sky, and you see like a bright flash of light, like glow around him, and it pours itself into the shield until like it glows so brightly it no longer looks solid. It just looks like complete light, and it breaks apart, and five like rays of light dart out from it, and it strikes directly at the shield emblems that you are carrying. So Buru, that goes straight for your belt, next to your mask. Alok, it goes right for where your shield is clipped to your journal, and to your cloaks or wherever it might be. Once it does that, you too are also washed with a faint white glow. Um, when you kind of like rub your eyes out to like see what the hell is going on, you see that it appears as if Gawain has aged significantly. Like it's like the wind has been knocked out of him. Like his hair used to be salt and pepper. It's a lot more salt now than pepper. And his back is a little bit stooped, but he is smiling. Um, for an unknown duration, all of you receive 15 temporary hit points.
Ooh.
Cool. All right. Can I have Suma and Gallet roll initiative as well? so we can add you into the order.
Okay, let's see.
The DM giving us free HP. That can't be bad.
He did warn you, I want to say.
All right.
Got it. Got it. Jeez, that's high. Okay, Gallant, you're going first, it seems. Cool. Okay, so let me switch over. Let's see if I can do this correctly. Did that work?
Ooh,
Very
yeah.
nice.
Okay, cool. So I probably should have waited a bit, but let me drag your guys'. I wasn't sure if you were gonna come up, so I'm gonna or can you guys drag yourself
Yeah,
up?
yeah.
You would be
We
like
can
where
do
the
it.
s- where the s- where the stairs are, like leading down into the deck.
There we go. So wait, would it be here or here?
You would be like right below what's it called? Right below Buru. Like right where everybody is on the left side. Like those stairs like lead down. It was kind of hard to configure.
Yeah,
Just wanted to make sure that I could switch the map over. I'd never done it before. Okay, cool. So uh as the ship approaches closer, the scuttling of skeletal hands gets louder and louder, and you see these like hands climb up onto the deck. It The first you see are like just these like raggedy red bone skeletons kind of strung together with red mist as if they're like being puppeted by something far away, and coming up behind them are these much larger and taller entities. They're also pretty skeletal, but they do still have like flesh still clinging to their bones. And upon their chest, where there is still skin, is the carved insignia of an eye with a swirl of like a swirling pattern where the pupil should be. These things look very unpleasant, and there is no doubt in any of your minds that these things are coming for you and coming for you with everything they've got. Gallet, you are the first to move here.
All right, I'll run up there. What happened to him? As I point to Gawain, and then use my hasted action. Can't cast 2 cantrips in a turn, I think, so I will take out my bag of ball bearings, and
Nice.
I don't know how it works, and I'm just gonna chuck it in that general direction. Just those 2.
Okay.
I don't know how it works.
Yeah, so I think if they take a movement, they'll have to make a dex save or else like fall prone or something, or like take. I mean, ball.
By the way, you can do 2 cantrips in a turn.
You can? Well, oh, but haste
It's just
doesn't
spells.
allow it. Okay.
Haste doesn't. No.
Well, it can. It says you can only take an attack, 1 weapon attack only, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object.
Yes. 10 square foot area. They have to pass a DC 10 dex save or fall prone.
All right. So let's see.
Cool. So that is your hasted action. What are you gonna do with your other action?
That guy looks like a meanie, so I'm just gonna aim my ring at it and fire.
Okay.
It shoots out just really condensed cold water from the deep depths of the ocean. Let's see. Eldritch Blast. Does a 15 hit?
A 15 does hit.
Yay! 7 damage.
7 damage. All right.
Alright, and just gonna. If I have any movement left. Oh, do I have any movement left? I had to run up here.
You have double movement because of haste.
No, okay, so I. 5, 10, 15. Anything on this side?
This side is facing away from the ship, so it seems that the skeletons are coming up from the side that the ship is closest to. You do see from that side though, Aramis waving away at you. with Valere kind of like they're like on this light, but on this like you see the boat, right? Pretend it's not there anymore. And they are zooming away. Valere is conjuring like very large bursts of air behind them, putting as much distance between them and the ship as possible.
All right. I'm just gonna use the rest of my movement, check over here to make sure nothing's over here, and end my turn.
Cool. All right. That is Gallup's turn. It is actually going to be Gawain's turn. That's what he looks like, by the way, like a nice old
Professor
man.
Oak.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah. I made this on Art Raider. I don't know if you've heard of that site,
No,
but cool. He's gonna take his movement up here, and he's gonna do two things. He is a sorcerer, and he's gonna cast Tidal Wave, kind of in this. Yeah, let me see if I can draw it actually, like around this area. And let me see if that's 4d8. Cool. Okay. Gawain's first turn. This man is gone. This one is gone. This one is gone.
Nice.
This one takes. Cool. And that is it. That is his turn. We now have Suma. It is your turn.
Ready?
Yes.
Let's see. Let's move myself. Hang on. Wrangling roll 20 is always
Yeah,
its own
this is
thing.
definitely. I'm like, I hope that this looks the way I thought it was gonna look.
So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15 to here.
Look out! This
And
fucking
then-
ground.
I would like to do a Burning Hands spell. So that's a 15-foot cone, so I can get all three of these little
All
friends
three?
here in front of me. So they make dexterity saving throws.
Let's see. The two minion ones very badly fail, but the one in the middle. What's the save?
13
13.
for dexterity. Yeah.
They all fail actually.
Oh, great. So they will take this amount of damage,
11. Got it. This thing is.
and that is fire damage.
That is 11. Sweet.
And then I'll use my hasted action to disengage so they don't get opportunity attacks on me, and I'll swing back around to here. And actually, since my move is doubled, can I move a little further? 'Cause that was 30.
Yeah. So you'd have 60 feet of movement, and if you're using your action to move as well, yeah.
So yeah, I guess her. There aren't really any good options, but I will go back up here
Okay.
and observe.
Sweet.
And that's it.
All right. So it is this man. How do you guys do the little like force field thing? So you can like, can you see that I'm selecting
little-
this one or no?
If you hold your mouse down when you have the black arrow selected, it makes a little ping thingy.
Got you. Okay. So this one is gonna take this much movement, and this thing is gonna take a very like it swings back its arm. It's like it's impossibly long arms, and as it swings back, it looks as if the bones are actually stretching themselves. It's gonna do one cleaving motion towards Buru and Gawain. Does a 16 hit you? You there?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
it
did
hits.
it hit? Oh, it hits. Okay, sorry. I didn't hear you. My bad. Okay. You take 6 slashing damage, as does Gawain. And now we have Ruby. It is your turn.
Okay, doke. I want to cast Sacred Flame, and then it says 60 feet is the range, so will it hit both of these guys if I do that?
A and B.
A and D?
A and B over here, the one near Buru and Gawain.
Yes, yeah.
I believe that is it descends on one target in particular. 60 feet as in you can select a target from 60 feet away.
I see.
So
Okay,
you
then
can pick either
I'll
one of these guys.
do. Okay, I mean, I guess I'll take this guy since he just he's more threatening. The one that's closer to Gawain and Buru.
For sure.
Okay. And then you have to make a dexterity saving throw or take 1d8 damage.
What is the save?
How do I figure that out?
It's it should be 10 plus your
spellcasting,
wisdom
right? So 10
modifier.
plus wisdom. Was it like a 14?
Okay.
13?
Which is 2.
Oh, okay. 12. Cool.
So 12 is your DC.
He fails.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
go ahead and roll 1d8.
Thank you. Okie doke. Sorry, this is hard to do multiple screens. I'm like,
You can pin Discord to be on top if that's.
can I just roll my dice that I have?
Sure.
Starting out, that's probably easier for me.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I got. Oh wait, is this not the? It's not the right one. I got 7.
7. Jeez. Okay. So that's actually gonna do 14 damage. So let me. 33. This one in particular is almost dead. All right. Who do we have up next? We got Buru. It is your turn.
Took in a right jab.
All right. Roll to hit. Okay. The 7 misses, but the 21 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Nope, that's not how you do it. 1d4.
You can just click on the unarmed melee attack in the chat, and it rolls it.
Okay. Nice. 5.
5. Okay. So the first hook misses, but you come back in with this right jab, and as you hit it squarely in the chest, and as you do, the eye symbol on his chest, it glows and kind of almost ignites, and the entire thing crumbles away into mist. And this one is out of here. All right, it is this guy's turn right here. He's gonna move right up to here, and he's going to do the same cleaving attack on the both of you. Does a 14 hit your AC?
Nope.
No. Ruby?
Nope.
No as well. Okay. So this thing reaches up with this giant claw, swings, and you both duck and take no damage. Alok, that's you.
Okay. What is this? Is this
It's like a building. It's like
Okay.
sorry, it's like um
like the cabin? Or...
yeah, it's like a cabin, and then the stairs descend into it, but it has like an upper floor as well. It's hard to show the top down view, but you're up against the wall, and you are in cover behind all these crates and barrels at the moment.
Okay. Hmm. It's a lot of things that want to hit me. Do I get the sense I'm still hidden after the bright light hit my belt thing?
I will say that all occurred before these things made it
Gotcha.
onto like the deck itself. And there were several lights happening simultaneously. So they do not currently have a bead on your position.
Okay. Then I will, for fun, I'll step out here and try to stab with my rapier.
Cool. Roll to hit. I will say you're coming out of stealth, so yeah, with sneak attack.
Okay. That sucks.
So a 9 unfortunately will not hit. You reach up and you stab out with your rapier, but you happen to hit a part of its body where there actually is no flesh there. It's just an absence of like a broken rib with like no flesh there.
That's my turn.
That's your turn. Cool. Okay. So these this one over here, D, and these skeletons are gonna move.
Skeleton warriors.
This one's gonna move. 3. And you have announced yourself at this point, so they are gonna go for you, unfortunately. Does I'm gonna roll for the baby skeleton first. An 11 doesn't hit, I don't think. Nope. 17.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay.
That's gonna be 8 damage.
Okay.
Cool. And that is everybody. We're gonna go back up to the top. Gallet, it is your move.
All right. From what I can see, it seems like that skeleton's giving them a little bit of trouble. So I'm gonna see if I can make it. Oh, I can totally make it. I'm gonna run over there, bring out my 2 daggers, and I'm gonna just start trying to stab this dude. So attack, stab.
Hell yeah. Okay.
So 4 slashing.
Or
And-
slashing damage.
And bonus action stab. 15
Yep,
hit.
15 hits. 15 hits.
Wait, do I get
15.
advantage if I flank or?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'll consider that part of it, and for the next one I'll roll double. Does a 10 hit?
A 10 does not hit.
Ah, I missed. Then I'll use my hasted action to just stab again.
Okay. 19 hits.
All right, I was hoping for a critical. Another 4, just trying to get it right up in there.
So is that 8
I
total?
did 8. I did. Well, actually, no. It's 10 total because
10 total.
because of my ability gives 2 cold damage to the first attack I hit in a turn.
Yes. Got it. All right. You reach out, cut this thing up with a myriad of actions. Like the wind is like coursing like through your body, and you like without you even really understanding how this is working, like your hands are like flying at a speed that it has not before. We come back around to Gawain's turn. Everybody roll me a perception check, actually.
Ooh.
Okay. So, Alok, you're too busy getting clobbered by these skeletons to really see what's going on. Buru, you're like, you just knocked one out. You're hype off of the feeling of like, yeah, I killed this thing. This was supposed to be hard. But Suma, Gallet, and Ruby, you look up and you see that this ship that the Red Wraith is on has like pulled almost like it's maybe like 30 feet away, 40 feet away. And as you look up, you see like a cloud of mist cross the divide between the two ships, almost as if like a boarding plank. And at the very end of the plank, like a hand comes up and kind of does this directly at Gawain. And he kind of wordlessly says nothing to you, walks over, crosses onto this bridge, and as he marches towards the Red Wraith ship, the bridge vanishes behind him. Like the moment his foot leaves that spot, the bridge is gone. And he's out of there.
We lost
He's-
one.
That guy's dead. Suma, it is now your turn.
Oh, great. Okay, let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20. We'll go over here. And I will try to finish this annoying guy off. Let's see what happens. I will cast a cantrip, Shocking Grass. So I make a melee spell attack against him. Which is does a 19 hit?
A 19 definitely hits.
Sweet. So, on a hit, the target takes 1d8 points of lightning damage,
1d8.
and
Yeah.
it can't take reactions until the start of its next turn. So I'll roll the d8. Okay, that's cool.
D10.
Yep, but no reactions. So I'm going to use my hasted action to make a short sword attack.
21
21.
definitely hits. Plus 5. Okay.
8.
8 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
And then I will. So this wooden area in the middle, is it? Does
It's
it
like
go
raised.
down into the
It's-
ship, or does it go up like
It
a
goes-
platform?
It goes up and down, as if you went down, you could take stairs that go up as well. If that makes
Okay,
sense.
I would like to go on it, but I would like to go up so that I can see what's happening.
Cool.
Just wanted to make sure I wasn't going downstairs.
Yes,
So I'll go. I'll go back up here.
Awesome. Ruby, that is your turn.
You're muted.
You're muted.
I am gonna go old fashioned and use my warhammer. Okay.
Okay.
Do I just click on this to roll for that? No, that doesn't work. Okay. So a 7 doesn't hit, right?
A 7 does not hit, unfortunately.
Okay.
Are you gonna use any movement at all on your turn, or are you gonna stay? Are you gonna stay put?
I guess I could try to back up Alok. He looks pretty surrounded. And how do y'all move?
You can just click and drag. I'm not sure how you did the thing where you like zoomed over. But I've been like clicking and like moving
I'm not-
one space at a time.
I'm not sure either. So, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
if you want to measure how far it is, if you like pick up your character and move it, and then right click with your mouse, it shows you the measurement while you're moving.
I saw that. I just don't know how to. Like, if I click on one of those, will it let me move? Sorry, guys. I'm like.
On the little sidebar, are you on the one with the black arrow that says select/move?
Yes. Hmm.
And
Is it a black
if
arrow
you
or is it a
click,
hand?
What?
Is it a black arrow, like a black like mouse thing, or is it like a hand?
It's an arrow.
if if the token has like character permissions.
Let me see.
Are you able to left click your character at all and move it?
No. Oh, there we go.
Oh, good.
So
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
you just pick it up like that, and like while you're dragging, if you right click, it gives you the mount or the.
Oh, I'm dragging it. Okay, okay. Oh, I'm doing it. Okay. So will this automatically like limit how many I can move based on like the speed I put down?
I think so.
Okay. Okay. I'm coming over to help.
Okay.
Okay,
So you
that's
move on right over there, and normally this Skull Reaper would have been able to take an attack of opportunity on you, but I believe the spell that Suma just cast means that it can't take reactions, so you are unscathed.
Nice.
Thanks, Suma.
Buru, that's you.
Take one unarmed melee attack. Very
That hits. Roll damage.
You'd also have advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, because you're flanking.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I didn't get it in that twice, so.
Okay. So
6 bludgeoning.
you hit that first attack, but this one remains standing. You hit it about just as hard, and you get the sense that this thing has taken like about as much punishment as the last one took, but this one is still kicking. But you hit it, and it does like go back reeling, like uttering out like a guttural snarl from its undead throat. That is gonna be this thing's turn. This thing it's going to make the same slashing attack, but now it is going to use both hands at both of you.
Oh no.
So does a 12 doesn't hit Buru, but does a 16 hit either of you?
It just
Yeah.
hits me.
It just hits you. It hits you as well. Okay. That is going to be 7 damage to both of you. Cool. And it's gonna stay put. It's gonna stay put. It looks pretty comfortable where it is. Alok, that is your turn.
All right. I made my thing a little red here for all the red skeletons around me.
Nice.
Probably easier to see like this. All right. All right. Approximately 6 seconds ago, I tried to stab a skeleton. That didn't work well. I'm just gonna stab the one right here.
Right there.
For, yeah. So if I hit, I get sneak attack.
Nice.
God damn it.
Unfortunately, a 6 does not hit. Again, like you stab it and it just goes through there's like it has its eye skull hole, but it's like also open on the other side. So you get like a headshot, but it just like goes perfectly through.
I'm like, yeah, that'll work. Oh.
Are you gonna take any movement at this point?
I don't
just
want
the-
to
just
be
the
hit
attacks?
anymore. Nope.
Valid. Cool.
I'm kicking a lot.
All right. So, these 3 right here are gonna move. It wants to position itself to hit both of you.
Can I attack the one?
Yes, you can attack that one. Yeah, H.
Come on, another
For
chance.
attack of,
Surely
attack
I
of
don't miss
opportunity on
another
that
one, right? God damn it. Okay.
A 10 actually exactly hits.
Really?
And I give
Whoa.
ties. The smaller ones. You were aiming for the smaller one, right?
Yeah, the one that.
Yeah.
Okay, that was not great. There you go. There's a one.
Yeah, cool. This thing is dead. Gone. So, you pull your rapier back after horribly missing the first time. This thing comes like shambling up towards you, like its bones clacketing on the wooden boards, and you immediately recover, swing again, and like completely like take this thing's head off. And as its skull like flies about, like the mist like dissipates from the rest of it, and all the bones come clattering down to the ground, and this one is gone.
Oh, it wasn't. It wouldn't have been that one. It would have been the one up here, because that's the one that left my range.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Picked the wrong one. Cool. Gone. Cool. This one now is going to strike. Same slashing attack at the both of you. Does a 13 hit either of you? No. All right. So it swings, and you, fresh off of this kill, blood is pumping in your veins. You are not hasted, but maybe it feels like you're hasted. You duck beneath this thing. Ruby, you probably just like, it kind of just goes right over your head because you are a dwarf, and these skull weavers are pretty tall and lumbering. These ones back here, he's gonna do. Actually, I'm gonna roll a. Oh, this thing has clocked that Suma is above here, and it's gonna go command its little minion to come with him.
No.
It's gonna.
The wizard.
A
No!
19. This thing successfully like heaves both of its raggedy claws and like yanks itself up onto here.
Oh, that's
But it
cool.
has used most of its movement to get there, and you are not in reach of its claws at the moment.
Thank God.
Gallant, that's back to you, my friend.
So I just get like hit a little bit. Alice, give me some strength and I'll cast False Life again.
False life on yourself.
Yep, I get 5 temporary hit points. And
Nice.
for my hasted action and my bonus action at the same time, I'm just going to take the blunt ends of both of the daggers and go for the skull. So
Go
let's see.
right for the skull.
Alright, so
Jeez. Okay.
the first one will hit, does 5 damage, and the second
5
one
damage.
does a 14 hit.
A 14 does not hit.
Ah, darn.
So this thing takes 5 damage, and it is just barely standing.
Get rid of it!
But it
Get
is
rid of
still
it.
standing, unfortunately. We're going over to Gawain's turn, and in the midst of this fighting, you see that Gawain is like marching up this fog cloud of stairs, and for the first time, as the ship draws ever closer, you see what the Red Wraith looks like. And he's a very tall and with tall man, like a very intimidating figure. He is cloaked all in red, but you're not sure if that is just a function of the mist, which seems to be like making up most of his body. He has a long, scraggly beard, the perfect, like, picturesque pirate hat. Like, the only thing missing from his pirate hat is a skull and crossbones. And as you look on his face, you see that, like, he doesn't seem like he's all the way there. Like, he is mostly fog and mist at this point. But he does have enough corporeal form to clutch onto a long, curved cutlass. And as Gawain reaches, as Gawain boards, they begin to fight. But more on that later. Back to Suma. This thing has now just like propelled itself with all of its very puny muscle strength because it barely has muscles left, and climbed up onto this deck with you. What do you do?
Mm-hmm. I think let's see, hang on. I just want to count some squares. Okay. I'm just going to tell it something like, not right now. I don't have time for you. And go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I'm going to try another shocking grasp on ya boy.
This one over here. Perfect.
The one with Gallet and Buru.
25.
Yeah!
A nat 20?
Wow.
Okay, hit me with it.
Alrighty. So no reactions, and should I just do double damage or?
You rolled the dice twice.
Alright, so
my personal, I mean, we can talk about this, but
Mhm.
I like rolling the dice twice, but it can't be any less than the max if you rolled it once.
Gotcha.
Because if you
Okay.
roll two, if you roll 2d8 but you get a 1 and a 1, that sucks. It's like if you
Yeah,
roll
I feel ya.
2d8 and it's like, you know, a 1 and a 1, we'll just say 8, like max
Mhm.
damage.
Okay, I'm cool with that. So it will be 9.
9. Okay. So describe to me what this looks like. What does the spell look like as you cast it?
Yeah, so I think in its sort of maybe it has like each hand out, one going for Buru and one going for Gallet, and before it can make another strike, I catch its wrist in mid-air, and just electricity sort of pulses out like in a charge from my hand into it, and it like singes and just sort of burns the arm away.
Okay, so as you do this, with that nat 20, the lightning like surges through its body. It actually as the clouds above you have like turned this vicious red color, it has begun to rain. A storm has brewed around the interlocking of these two ships in this battle that's happening place on this deck between the undead and the shield. And the lightning curves in an arc and it almost like jumps across like rain droplets and it strikes this other one over here with that natural 20 because I think that's awesome. So this thing is fully gone. This thing is gone. Bam. And this one is going to
Phew.
take 9 damage as well. All right.
Cool. So I still have a hasted action after that, which I think I'm going to use to let's see, I used 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. I'm gonna see if I can like hide amongst the steering wheel.
Okay. This entire time that you did this, this one, the one that had followed you up onto this deck, is just like as exasperated as a skeleton could look to have expended all this effort to get up. You're like, I'm gonna get her. Get him, sorry. And then like you just zoomed out of the way at like lightning speed. It's like, hello? Cool. Ruby, that is your turn. You are now right up beside Alok. You are backing him up. What are you doing? What are you up to?
Okay. Let's do guiding bolt. Okay.
Guiding bolt.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna roll to hit.
16 hits. 16 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh. Okay, it's gonna be 46 radiant damage.
46.
Whew.
Jeez.
Dang.
That is
Woo.
massive. And this actually, wow. Okay. Let me see.
Is he gone? Is he gone?
Yeah, you exactly kill this thing. This thing.
Woo!
Tell me what this looks like. What you lift up your hand. You blast it with guiding bolt. What does this look like for you when Ruby casts this?
Okay. Let's say, okay, it looks like I'm going like this, and then
Okay.
light
Like,
just
you can say
comes
something. Like,
out.
yeah. Okay.
Sailor,
Sick.
Sailor Moon style. I don't know. Yeah.
All right. So the flashlight bursts out of your hands. It hits this thing, and it is like incinerated. This thing is fully gone. Um. Is that your turn? Do you want to use? Is there anything else you want to do in your turn? You have not used your move.
I'm good, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Guru, that is your turn.
Sprint all the way up here, and then do 2 left jabs.
Those both hit. No need to roll damage, honestly. Just let me know, like, how do you break this thing apart? Which bones are you breaking first?
It's right in the small of its back, and then right in the neck.
So this thing, it's like a chiropractor's dream come true. This thing, like, the bones perfectly splinter and break into a million pieces, and the mist washes over you as this thing crumbles into nothingness. Okay, can't take its turn because it's dead. Alok, that's you. You're muted. Wait, you're muted?
That's awkward. Okay, I'm gonna run behind Buru and I'm gonna hold my action to stab something if it comes nearby.
Okay. Okay. Sick. Holding your action. Wait, why can't I see you?
Can't see me? Hold on.
Oh, okay. It's because I have. Okay, there we go. Like I can see the faded icon still of the other one, so it's like kind of like covering. Okay. It is these last two skeletons' turns. And this one, you see, it reaches. This thing grabs the other skeleton, and like very quickly, like breaks it apart, and using the mist, like makes like a makeshift bow. Out of its spine and fragments of bone. It like mist is like the twine that strings this bow together, and it takes like fragments of the rib cage, strings it back, and fires from on high at you three. Right here, Ruby, Alok, and Buru. It is getting very frustrated at the way things have gone. He climbed all this way to get Suma, and he was gone in an instant. He's very confused and upset. This has not been the standard day of work for this guy. Let me know. Damn, a 19 definitely hits. Should you take 8 damage? Everyone's still up? Are we still good? Are we still alive?
Yep.
Yes. Could I do a counterattack to that? Wait, no, they're not in 5. They're not within 5 feet of me.
No,
Huh?
yeah. He remained still, and this was its doing this maneuver, reaching out, grabbing the other skeleton, like that took its entire action, and movement and everything. So it's gonna stay put, where it is. We're gonna go back to the top with Gallet. You just watched this thing do what is perhaps the most metal thing you have ever seen in your life. What do you do?
So it's on top of like this cabin building, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll just like duck a little bit, dash this way. I would like to
Okay.
get on top of this barrel just to get over it, over the list. Just aim at it with my little water gun, and I'll try to fire
Okay.
at it.
A
19.
19 hits. A 19 hits.
Nice 3 damage.
3
And,
damage.
And after that, I use my bonus, hasted action just to duck down and hide.
Okay. So you take the hide action right after.
Just hide down a barrel.
Cool. That is 3 damage. Nice. Alrighty. We are on Gawain's turn. As much of the fighting has subsided, you have like downed multiple of these skeletons. However, it has perhaps started to dawn on you that the more of them you kill, the harder the next one is to kill. And you're looking around, like looking for this person who's literally the guy who said, "This is too dangerous. Please stay downstairs. Do not fight." And you see him. You kind of turn to see like how he's doing, and as you turn, he is badly injured. Like the stoop in his back that had like kind of occurred after he had activated his shield thing has gotten ever more pronounced. He's limping, and as you watch, and the crimson rain is falling and the mist is swirling, the red wraith takes its cutlass and stabs Gawain through the heart. Those of you who still had temporary hit points no longer have those temporary hit points. And that is the end of that turn. The haste remains. The haste was not from Gawain. So Galad and Suma, you're still hasted.
So is he dead?
He is dead. He is dead.
Oh my god.
It really is like Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. Just we gotta get to the Falcon, guys.
How far away is the Red Wraith ship from ours?
I would say it has remained at the same distance as it was when Gawain walked over this bridge. It is 30 feet. But the bridge is no longer there. It seemed to have been for him specifically.
Yeah. Who's up after Wayne?
It is Suma's turn.
It's me. Hello.
Hello.
Alrighty. I will throw I think I'm at an okay distance to do this. Let me see. Oh my gosh, I suddenly don't know how to use the ruler. But I'm pretty sure I'm within 120 feet of that Wraith boy.
Definitely.
So I would like to firebolt him.
Go for it.
Wow, okay.
Ooh.
It was time for a change, I suppose.
So fresh off the nat 20, we get a nat 1. The firebolt like streaks through the air, but perhaps after just watching this man who you didn't really know very well die before your eyes, like maybe you just caught it out of a glance, but realized, like that happened, but I cannot focus on that right now. Maybe a slight twitch of the hands. The firebolt veers up a little bit and catches. It's a bit translucent because I didn't want covering the map, but part of these masts of these sails on fire. Ruby, that's your turn.
So just to be clear, if I have Spare the Dying, and like he's already dead though, so I cannot like stabilize him.
I believe Spare the Dying, you have to touch them, right?
Yeah, you have to touch them.
You would have to be physically on that ship
You go get
to
him.
touch him.
We believe in you.
If his body were somehow like like if the Red Wraith decided to punt him back over, like, all right, I'm done with this, like, you can have him, have fun. you would be able to do so.
Yeah.
But currently, there is the ocean between you.
Okay. I feel like it'd be cool to try to jump to the ship, but I don't think Ruby is there. I don't think she's that caring, so she's not going to try to do that. Okay.
That's our
Cool.
cleric.
Also, a pretty far jump.
I can swim, I think. Actually, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Horizontal jump.
Okay. I will move. Let's do this again. Now it's working with me. Okay. Let's do. Okay, so since it's a ranged attack, is this enough of a range where it's not a disadvantage, you think? Use guiding bolts again?
What attack are you using? Are you using guiding bolt?
Yeah, so it's my last
that's
time
a
using
pretty
my.
far-
Okay.
She's talking
Okay.
about the disadvantage when an enemy is within 5 feet of you.
Oh. Yeah, that's fine. You can also have just cast it from where you were.
Okay. Really, I don't know how to use Roll20 still. My bad. Okay. But that was intentional. I wanted everyone to see that message. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's really what I wanted to do. Okay. Let's do guiding bolt again. Does that hit?
An 11 does not hit.
It should be. I don't know if this will make a difference, but it should be plus
Oh
your
yeah, +4.
stuff.
+4, right?
Plus
yeah,
4,
yeah.
a 15 exactly hits. A
Ah!
15 exactly hits. Go ahead and roll
Okay.
damage.
That did help.
14. Okay, and this is radiant damage. So again, that's 20. Jeez, that is a busted spell.
And then everyone who attacks that guy afterwards has advantage.
Next one's before the end of your next
attack.
turn.
Yep, the next attack.
It's
The
before
next
my
attack.
turn. Before my turn.
Yeah, so whoever hits him next.
Yep.
Okay. So Buru, it is your turn. Ruby has just sent this flash of light that hits this wraith. And its body is aglow and it's sizzling from the contact with this holy light. You can see it clear as day. You do have advantage on this attack. Should you be able to make it to? Yeah, you can make that.
Whose turn is it? Okay.
Sprint up here. Use these two barrels as like footholds and jump off them onto here.
Can you give me I'm gonna say a DC 12 acrobatics check to make it up. Perfect. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You sprint up, just parkour off these barrels onto the deck.
Dash over here. I'm gonna make 2 melee attacks.
Okay, that first one hits.
Clock him right in the face for 5 damage.
You'd have another if you were.
Yeah, you have another roll. You have another roll.
Right, because the
Okay. Oh, unnatural. Got you. Okay, yeah. Both of those attacks hit. 11 damage to this guy. Very nice. So emboldened by what you just saw, the damage that you just saw done, you sprint up onto these barrels, get onto the deck, and immediately slug him twice. And he staggers back a little bit. And we have Alok. It is your turn.
Is he within 5 feet of the thing right now? The skeleton?
Yeah. Brew just smacked him in the face.
Okay. Cool. I'll just move over here and I'll try to take a shot. Because attacks have been working so far, right? Okay. That's my turn.
Unfortunate.
So
Haven't rolled above a 5.
So you draw your bow back, fire it, and I think probably like it's still reeling from the hit that Buru just inflicted, and the arrow just barely misses like the side of his skull.
Still get my sea legs too, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so it is now the Wraith's turn. Buru, you are right in front of it. So it's not going to make a range attack. It's going to make a physical attack. It's just going to hit you. Let's see. It's a 14 hit.
Nope. Thank God.
14 does not hit. Whew, man, you're pretty high ACs for level 1. I'm actually very surprised. Cool. It swings at you, but I think adrenaline's still pumping. You duck out of the way, unharmed. Seeing this, however, it dips back.
Lean back.
It kind of like it has no like concern for the physics that bodies are supposed to have, and it kind of just like tumbles backwards. Its back like bending at like an impossible angle and like slinks onto the ground. Bow still in hand. Gallet, we are back up to you.
Alright, so Gallet's freaking out because the sails are on fire.
This is true.
How do I believably get up to the sails? Is there like a rope system I can climb, or do I have to climb the mast?
Yeah. I will say that earlier when you and Alok had arrived on the ship, you watched Valere on multiple occasions take the rope systems down to the ground, like to slow her descent onto the deck. So there are some ropes, but it has been raining. The rain, however, does not seem to be doing much for the fire. If anything, it almost seems like it's making it stronger.
That's not good. Well,
Actually, yeah. Go ahead, Dan.
I'm gonna attempt to get up there, and
Okay.
yeah, that's.
So you're gonna climb these ropes.
Yeah, I'm gonna try with my haste.
Okay. Give me a DC because it's not like the normal like someone just cast haste on you. It is literally like wind is like coursing like over your skin and through your limbs. And so you feel a bit lighter. So give me a DC 12 athletics check with advantage.
All right, athletics. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So perhaps like you're very gung ho. You're like, I'm gonna get up there and do something about this, and you put a little bit too much power like into it, and like it kind of slips through your grasp, and you land back down on the ground. I will say that you probably you still have an action, even with that,
Okay, then
because of the haste.
I'll. Can I cast something with my action?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay, I don't know how this is. I don't know if this will work, but I just aim my ring up, and a little bit of mist comes from it, and no one can see it because it's invisible. But I cast Unseen Servant, and I ask him to
Ooh.
just try to bat it out. Just try to bat it out.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. You summon this ghostly figure that nobody else can see, and he's just running around. He has no problem getting up there. And he doesn't put out the fire, but he is containing it. I will say, like he's preventing the damage from getting much worse. Yeah, cool. That is your turn. Suma, that is now your turn.
Alrighty. I'll use my movement to go as far as I can, I think. Let's see. 6. Yep. I'll just run up here. I'll try another firebolt.
One more firebolt, point blank.
Yep. Okay. 11.
11 does
Doesn't hit.
not hit, unfortunately.
Didn't think so.
AC is 15.
Okay, so then I will use my hasted action to dash and just take another movement to back away from him. So let's see. Go ahead over here.
Cool.
That's it.
That'll be Ruby, your turn.
I will move like closer to him. And I'm gonna do Sacred Flame again.
Sacred
Then
Flame.
you have to beat 12 for dexterity saving throw.
A 12 dexterity saving throw. Okay.
Mhm.
He rolled a 2, so he's not gonna make back. Go ahead and roll damage. And is this also radiant damage?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
Nice.
Okay. Very nice. So you cast Sacred Flame, and descending upon it is a giant, is like gouts of light shaped like fire, like come down upon this thing, and it is looking severely fucked up. Like you guys collectively have done a lot of damage to this thing. That's 16. However, it remains standing. It's 50 points of damage done to it. That is Buru, your turn. You're standing on the deck. The mass above you, radiating flames. Honestly, had you not, Gallet, kept the flames from spreading on the start of his turn, he would have been affected by these flames, but you have successfully kept it from getting too bad. So, Buru, what are you up to?
How far back would I have to go to not see him anymore?
To not see him.
Go here.
what if you just covered your eyes?
I would say you could just like go off to the side of the deck. Like if you were to go right
Where?
here, like anywhere around here, like he would be around the corner from you.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop down behind these barrels and I'm gonna pop a healing potion. I think it's a minor healing.
Yeah. Go for it. If you, yeah, go for it.
4.
So, you chug this potion, and this is the potion you got from Melvin's shop, right? Cool. You drink it, and you do feel a bit of your health revitalized, but you also feel another strange bubbling feeling inside of you. It's not unpleasant, but it's definitely not just healing. But it feels interesting. It's not bad. It's not good. You can't really tell what it is at this moment. But you do regain your 2 hit points. And is that your turn?
I think he said yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Alok, that is your turn.
All right. I have a question about healing potions. Are you doing them differently? A normal potion is 2d4 plus 2, but I don't know if you did it differently.
I think like given Melville's, I would say it's just like the ones that he bought were just 1d4.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh boy, we're fighting this thing. I'm gonna run over here and just quickly pop around and take a shot, and then pop back around the log. Maybe I'll roll above a 5. Let's see.
Let's go.
I rolled above.
Yeah.
Oh, it hits! It hits! Roll damage. 5
Woohoo.
plus sneak
5.
attack.
Yep.
Plus 5. Tell me how this happens.
Yeah.
Tell me what Alok is feeling as he pulls back this shot when basically every other shot has missed up until this point, and tell me exactly where the arrow lands.
He is in complete fear, and but he knows that he needs to fight this thing, so he quickly runs around behind the logs. He pops out, realizes how scared he is. He takes a shot, doesn't even look. He just pops back around the corner. Doesn't even see it land. But he aims for like right under the skull, so the skull pops off and goes up a little bit past the body.
Amazing. Arrow flies over. This thing is distracted because it has just been hit. previously by the spell from Ruby. That's that ally within 5 feet. Sneak attack advantage. It is not looking. Arrow cuts clean through, and as it does, it like collapses backwards, and every part of it like turns into mist as the bones themselves shatter onto the floor. The skeletons and the skull reavers are defeated. You have survived this encounter. Congratulations. Um,
About that other guy.
Cool. As the last of these skeletons are vanquished, you look over to see the Red Wraith, and the Red Wraith is just standing there, and Gawain is still impaled on his cutlass. As you watch, like Gawain's body turns into mist. It loses its corporeal form, and it looks like it becomes part of the Red Wraith. And as you watch, it looks as if it's becoming more corporeal. This thing does not make any like sudden moves, but it does reach out a hand towards you. And the storm around you grows stronger and stronger. And you can see Alok, you see this the most clearly, and Suma. This ship was pretty badly beat up before, but at this point, like wooden boards from the side of the ship like start flying off out of the nails and like going towards the Red Wraith ship. And as these bits and pieces of debris fly into the ship, you can see the ship like almost like getting bigger. However, Gallet, as you were watching this occur, as you was watching like a piece of the mast above you like snap off, or the crow's nest kind of crumble to pieces and fly into this vortex, the frog on your back, which has been here this entire time, just kind of clinging onto you for dear life as you zipped around at Mach speed, it appears to wake up. When you climbed up onto that rope and fell down, the impact with the ground kind of like it broke that protective the water around it, and as it woke up, it reforms like a new like kind of force field around it of water, and it glances up, and you don't hear any sound, but all of a sudden, like the sounds of the storm fade away, and as you look up, you see that the entire ship has been encased in a large green bubble. The waves push you back and back away from the Red Wraith. The storm recedes out into the distance, and the Red Wraith does not make any moves at this point, but his ship does sink back below the waters. Eventually, the frog collapses from your back, and the force field dissipates. But it seems that for now, you are safe from whatever that thing is.
Frog
So,
friend.
good on you for breaking him out.
I checked to see if he has a pulse. I don't know how frogs work.
Go ahead and make, I guess, make a medicine check for me.
Alright. Medicine. -1.
Ooh, a 2. This thing might be dead, honestly. This thing might be the deadest thing you've ever seen in your entire life.
It's like splayed out. Oh. That's
Could you spare the dying on it?
I have a medicine kit, but this applies to humans. Does anyone have flies? I don't know what to do, so I'm just standing. I'm on my knees looking around, just confused.
Yeah, what is everyone doing at the conclusion of this? A lot just went on that is very difficult to explain and very difficult to even consider what the fuck just happened. What is everybody's reaction to the events that have just transpired?
Is the fire still there?
Ooh, yes, it is still actively burning. It
I
is
would
no
like
longer
to
being
try to help put it out since I caused it.
sure. You rummage around, and there are some like some of these barrels are filled with like fresh water, like to drink from as the sailors are like manning, like they don't have time to go downstairs and grab a mug or whatever. Um, uh, um, what do you guys do? You just like toss it up onto the fire? What is the game plan?
I feel like I'd probably try to grab like a heavy cloth or something, like smother it.
Okay. Yeah. You look around and you see like some discarded like parts of the sail that maybe were like swapped out or had gotten like ripped up. And I'm gonna say that like together you all work together to put out this fire. Um, and the ship is badly damaged. Part of its sail has burned away a little bit. But you guys are all safe. Um, what is everybody else doing after the fire has been put out?
So the ship's still there, just encased in this green bubble.
The ship is still intact. Your ship.
Yeah, no. You said the red wave was bubbled, and then did it disappear afterwards, or
No, the ship you're on was bubbled.
oh,
Yeah, hopefully that makes more sense.
yeah.
It was kind of like siphoning the ship, like wrecking it with the power of the storm, and this young baby, essentially minor deity, which was kidnapped from its like swamp home, encased it in a protective force field, um, until the threat was gone, and it promptly collapsed and is now in a state of maybe death, according to Gallet. Like maybe, probably death.
In the background, I'm trying to do CPR with the frog.
See what's going on.
Yeah, you can also make a medicine check if you want to determine to see if this thing is alive still.
It might be dead.
This thing might be dead, honestly. You just don't really know if frogs even have hearts to begin with. Like, are you checking for a pulse? Like, does it have like a central circulatory system?
I'm not hearing a croak.
Is it breathing? Like
Alok, you look around. Everything is almost unnaturally still. It is as if every living and moving thing that might have been around in the ocean has fled and does not want to return to this area. It is dead quiet. Even the sea seems to have quieted and
The
gone
water's
very
still red?
still. The water is slowly receding back to its normal blue. Okay, Ruby, you march over to the frog and you determine that this thing is barely alive, but kind of in a state of stasis, like an instinctive, involuntary hibernation to keep itself from like if it moves at all at this point, like it might like cease to function. It has put itself essentially into kind of a coma in order to no longer be exerting its power. But it is alive. It's just hard to tell if it's ever gonna wake back up again.
Okay. Instead of telling Elit that, I'm like, dude, he croaked. He's gone.
He was such a strong warrior.
I know.
Have you guys mentioned to the others that the crewmates were collapsed below deck?
No, I don't think so.
Really focused on the frog situation.
You get the sense that it's going to be okay. Like it's not gonna die in this moment. but that it's in pretty bad shape. That these things are not meant to exert energy at that rate or to do that kind of thing. It is not what it was meant to do.
It's a baby
Um,
frog.
it's a baby. It's a baby god, essentially, god of the swamp. And it was pulled from its environment and is kind of had to respond to a threat that it has no way of really comprehending. Uh, Suma, after putting out the fire,
Mhm.
you are able to successfully do so. What do you do now?
After that, I think I'd probably. Oop, is it someone? Oh, there. Oh, wait a sec.
Hello.
I'll go down below and I will see if people have started waking up yet. Yeah, I'll see.
Okay. You go down below, and it seems that a few of the people have started to wake up. They're kind of like rubbing their heads. You're not sure if it was from whatever hit them or them just like hitting the ground afterwards. Um, and the Minotaur from before, Andros, he kind of stomps over to you. He goes, "What the hell happened? Where's the captain?"
It's a long story. The captain has vacated the ship.
What? You wouldn't do that.
It's a long story. I think it's best that we all meet together, everyone as a crew, and we can tell you all what happened. Most of the crew were unconscious for some time.
Right. I'll get the rest.
Collect everyone and say meet on deck in an hour. Collect yourselves, rest. You've all been through a lot, even though you didn't know it.
So Andros, being one of the sturdiest members of the crew, has woken up first. He goes around, like kind of helping people up. Maybe him and you, Suma, helped Suzanne out of her shackles in the brig.
Yeah, totally.
She is also very much out of it. She barely remembers even being put into magical sleep initially, let alone whatever happened afterwards. And everybody gathers above deck. So you all are together above deck, and the crew turns to you, Gallet, because you are wearing the captain's hat.
And I'm holding the frog.
And you are holding the frog. And the chef, his name is Pat. Name is Patrice. The one that you helped out with the beans.
Yeah.
And he kind of looks at me and goes, "Hey, why has he got the captain's hat?" And you see Suzanne kind of poke her head out from like the side of his legs, and he goes, "Okay, so like everybody's talking, and they're saying that the Captain Aramis just left. Like, would you believe that he actually just left without saying goodbye?"
I hold up my hand.
And instinctively, the chatter stops.
Okay, I'm a little bit surprised, but I was given the hat from Aramis. He sort of has given me this position, it seems, in this dire circumstance. He left you all for dead, him and Belair, just letting you know. They thought that due to the red wraith that was here just moments ago, which we fought off, they thought their chances were higher if they just left you and took one of the lifeboats. They gave me the hat, said it's sort of our thing now. They said all your debts have been paid. Sorry you had such a crap captain.
Immediately, this is like blow after
Yeah.
blow of very staggering realizations for these people who have been unconscious.
And I'd
Like they
actually,
woke up, they were like, their beloved first mate and captain were like, get below deck, shit's going down. They immediately passed out, and when they woke up, the ship was a mess. This essentially a stranger is wearing the captain's
Yeah.
hat, and the captain is gone. You see them perk up at several intervals. They perk up when you mention the Red Wraith. Some of them do, some of them don't. But everybody kind of like collectively gasps when you mention that Aramis has mentioned that their debts have been paid. A couple of them approach you, namely Andros is among them, kind of like leading kind of a small pack of people, and he says, "Listen, a lot of people on the ship, we don't know much else than being on the ship. What would you have us do? Since you're the captain now and everything."
yeah, I'm the captain now. Okay. Yeah. So just letting you all know first, just putting this out there. The locked room. Aramis was also smuggling creatures like an emperor frog that saved all of our lives. So yeah, I showed them a little frog. He's like it looks like he's dead probably.
It looks like he's dead,
Yeah.
and a couple of them know what it is, and they're like, "There's no fucking way that is what it is. Like, how did we? Is that why we were in that swamp? Is that the secret mission that they?" Yeah.
I hold up my hand to stop the talking. So many illegal things have been taking place on this boat. Our previous guild master has appeared to have died, so there's also that for us at least. So how about right now we all just keep calm, clean up the mess room. I saw it in there. It still had a little bit of work to be done. Make sure the ship is in fine. Well, let's start repairing it. And some of you I will want to help unlock some things in that room just to make sure no other animals are in there. Get to it.
All right. They all move to do what you have said. Some of them a little more begrudgingly than others.
Yeah, this is not a good situation for them.
This is not a good situation at all. How is everybody else dealing with the aftermath of this? This has been like this is supposed to be a very simple mission for all of you. This was billed as a very like cut and dry. Like, yeah, some of the newbies have been dying, but like it would never happen to you, right? And it turns out that it didn't. How are you processing this after this meeting has been held? I would say you all are probably standing together, and like the crew is kind of going back and forth, assessing the state of the damages, and everything. What's the mood?
Gallet,
Hmm?
what is that frog thing?
Yeah, that is an emperor frog. It's somewhat minor deity. I
Huh?
think it very powerful frog. It was stolen from
Did you
its
kill
home.
it?
No, it's sort of just overexerted. It seems like. So we I don't know how to care for frogs, so we should probably see a doctor at our next port. A
Do
veterinarian.
doctors work with gods?
Well, it's still like a frog, right? It's just a powerful frog.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good job, everyone.
Give it to me. I cast Spare the Dying
Can I-
on it to stabilize it more so.
It is not. This thing has not sustained hit point damage. In that sense, it is not wounded. It is more like spiritually exhausted.
It just needs a nap.
Okay, well, I tried.
Have any of you played Stardew
Okay,
Valley?
I tried. It didn't do anything.
It's like when you stay up past 2 a.m.
Oh,
and it's just like
yes.
it just shut down.
It's
It
not gonna
cannot
have
do
any
anything.
energy tomorrow. It's gonna need to go to the
It is
spa.
passed out in the mines. It's lost several items. That's basically what has happened to this frog. It does seem to be a magical sort of stasis. you don't really understand. This is a very rare species. Like when people say I know what that is, it's more like I heard a story that existed. I heard this like weird myth that there's like a village built in a swamp that worships these things. Oh, I heard these things grow as big as houses. Oh, I heard that they like eat alligators whole, like stuff like that. Um, uh, as you were talking amongst yourselves, though, one of the crew members, a very shy-looking gnome, walks up to you, and he's kind of twiddling his thumbs. He says, uh, Captain,
Yeah. Yes.
and Captain's friends, shield captains. I have a bit of a bad news. Um, the ship, it's pretty busted. Uh, I don't know how much longer it'll be able to stay afloat. Um, uh, in the sense that the longer it stays on the water, being buffeted by the waves, the more it will be less one thing and more like many things as it breaks apart.
What's your
So
name?
sorry.
What's your name, crewmate?
Simon, sir.
Simon. Nice to meet you, Simon. All right, so we're gonna have everyone just trying to dump water, try to fill that hole up. Some of the members can do that. And where is our navigator?
Well, you see, the navigator was Valere.
Crap. All right. Give us one
Um,
moment. Just give us one moment. I
Oh.
turn the I like bring in the shield crew. Who's the good navigator?
I've been on the sea before, but not extensively.
I mean, I'm sure they sent us in this direction for a reason, right?
I
Do we
don't.
need to turn?
I well, see, the thing is with the whole fighting with the giant waves, I don't think we're on the
True.
same course.
We also haven't
Hmm.
been going for very long. This was our first night.
That's true. We could just turn around. But which way is around? If we're not going straight.
I feel
Can we ask the rest of the crew?
I feel like you guys can ask it, and then you let me
Can I
know.
try to like
Sure.
use the stars and?
Sure.
Sorry.
It is nighttime now, and the skies above after the fight with the Red Wraith have cleared. I'm gonna say, man, what is the associated check with
Nature.
reading the stars? Nature,
I was thinking like
history?
survival.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
survival,
Yeah, that
probably.
makes sense. Yeah, survival. That tracks.
Maybe everyone should look at the sky.
Yeah. I think I was like, I think
Okay.
Alice told me something about this. It's like the Dipper.
Those are pretty stars.
Oh boy.
I think that's the
Oh no.
Dipper.
Okay.
Hey.
I was given something about this.
Anybody else trying to look at the stars, or just these three?
Try. What the heck?
Okay. I will say that you think that you would be able to uh find out where you are and what your current bearing is if you were to find a map, like actively have a map in front of you and consulting it with the stars. You feel like you'd have a reasonable chance of being like, yeah, that's that constellation. I think the star chart kind of lines up with this actual map of the islands. This probably tracks.
All right. Does anyone have a map? Anyone have a map?
Captain.
No.
Captain does.
Maybe.
Perhaps of Valere, or
Yeah. Let's.
if she was the navigator.
Let's check their
Yeah.
coordinates.
Sure. Whose room are you visiting first? Are you going to Aramis's room? Valere's room. So you ask a couple crewmates where Valere's room is, and whereas before they probably would never have told you because she values her privacy, they let you right in. Some of them, like one of them, I think he kind of like hesitates, kind of like, this is against my inner instincts, but also like I feel like I owe a debt to the symbol that is this hat right now.
Everyone owes
uh,
debts.
Yeah, you get the sense actually as you spend time among the crew that there's kind of a division among them. Half of them think, well, our debts have been paid. We can do whatever we want now, but I do want to help these people who you explain the situation to them to a degree. We do want to help these people to the next destination, and then we can just do whatever we want. And the others, kind of like we have an allegiance to this ship, but also to an extent, even if Aramis said that it's paid, they don't feel like it's been paid yet. So yeah, they open the door to Valaire's room, and it is remarkably bare. She does not sleep in a bed; she sleeps in like a hammock, by one of the few windows, and you see that a hole has been torn in it. You look around, and there are a couple of star charts kind of laid out on this nice desk, but on top of it is an ornate box with like swirling green like patterns on it, kind of look a little bit like her tattoos.
Ruby, want to check that?
Yes. Finders keepers.
Ruby, you pick it up, but you find it difficult to open. It doesn't appear to have like a ridge where a lid would be. But there is one small circular hole kind of in it. And Ruby, do you happen to read Elven as one of your languages?
No.
But you probably recognize it as Elven, you just can't read it. Does anybody else read Elven?
I am an elf.
Yeah, I'm assuming. So, not being able to understand what this thing says, you pass it to Suma and Gallet. You probably like kind of huddle around him, and you see that
I'll show him too.
there's an inscription above this one hole to this like box with no hinges, and in Elven it says, "Many may rush to take me, but none may hold me for long."
I'll say that out loud as I translate.
Wait, can you say it one more time? Oh, okay, but none may.
I typed that in just so you can have the exact.
Is it a breath?
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
That's a good guess. Wait. I'll say it in Elfin.
Try blowing in the hole.
Oh.
Wait, actually,
Do you try that?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm holding it. I'll
it could
try it.
just be air. Yeah.
Okay. Suma, you take it in your hands and you blow into it, and the last of Valaire's kind of haste spell exits with your breath. It goes into the hole, and you can hear as the air travels inside of it that like you hear that click clack clack of like certain like the gears like switches like flipping inside of it, and after a moment it opens, and inside of it you spot a small kind of drawstring bag. It's black with a golden drawstring, and the moment you take it out, it feels jumpy. It feels light. Like if you just left it in the palm of your hand, it would just like slowly kind of move about the room. Below the bag, Suma, as you move the bag, actually, when you move it, you see that there is a letter on aged parchment with handwriting in Elven. You're assuming Valaire's script, and on top of it is a single obsidian shard.
Oh my god, I'm freaking out. Me as a player, but also I think when he sees it, Suma doesn't quite drop the box, but immediately just like places it on the table like it's something really hot, like backs away a little bit.
Yeah. The rest of you see this. Suma immediately like kind of puts the box on the table, and the bag on it kind of like bounces up into the air and like starts floating. How do you respond?
I poke it.
Can I look at the obsidian shard?
Yes.
What it is?
Alok, you examine it. Make an investigate check.
Cool.
Oh,
10.
this is not fair for you.
It seems very very nice. It's very smooth and shiny. It looks like it used to be part of something, but you just don't know that was part of like a building or like somebody mined it off, but it just came out really clean. So Buru, you wanted to poke the bag. As you poke the bag, it like you poke it pretty hard and it like zooms across the room. Luckily not towards the window.
I'll turn to Suma. You okay, Suma?
Don't know yet. I'm sorry about the outburst. Hang on. And I'll go back and I'll take a quick breath and then I'll try to read the letter that was in Elvish in the box.
You read the letter, and it's in Valera's handwriting is very elegant and loopy. It's a very short letter. It says, "Dear brother, this will be the last letter I write you, for I am certain the next news I have to bring, I may speak to you in person. I have met a man who can lead me to the forces that took you, and so long as I stay by his side, I know my path will lead me to you. Many years now, I've sailed in search for you, and many years I've searched in vain. But the day of our reunion draws ever near, and I am anxious to meet you once again. I promise, on my life, on the winds, that when I find the people who took you, I will take their last breaths." And it's signed, "May the winds be ever behind you, Valere." And you see that this letter was dated like 15 years ago.
Oh shit. That is a long time.
I'd like to grab the bag before it does go out a window.
Yeah. Roll just a dexterity check for me. See if we have any shenanigans, like when you're trying to pop a balloon up and keep it from touching the ground. 13. Yeah, you reach out and as it's like floating towards the window, you snatch it and you can feel it kind of like moving in your hands, this bag. Oh, cat. Sorry.
He likes to play.
Instinctive reaction.
Yeah.
The five of you hear a knock at the door. And when you open it, it's Simon and the shy gnome fellow from earlier, and he's kind of like, he opens the door, but he's like not looking, as if he still like doesn't feel like he has the right to be like in Valera's room or like messing with any of her stuff. And he's like, did you find the maps that you were looking for?
Why, yes, we did.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Does that mean that you no longer need to be in Miss Valera's room?
Not specifically, but we're still investigating.
Oh, okay. Well, if I can be of any assistance, I'm right here.
Well, then get in here.
Huh? Like he looks over and there's like fear
I just like nudge him inside. Yeah, just
in his
like,
eye. There's like fear in his eyes, but you were also technically the captain.
Yeah.
And so he kind of like shyly steps in, like his hand. It's like he's like trying to take up as little room as possible, and he's already very small. He says, is there anything that I can help you with?
How much do you know about navigation?
Oh, well, um, and he kind of like waddles over towards the star maps, and together you suss out that um you have like whatever happened during the fight with the Red Wraith, it may have taken more time than perhaps it should have, as if time inside the storm had passed differently, or that the storm had pushed you back a great distance because you were like halfway in between Locky and the Gallant. Actually, let me switch everybody over to the main page. We're done with that combat. That one. Cool. Yeah. Let me grab a token. I'll say you're somewhere around here. Having traveled a lot faster than perhaps you should have. You're about in between to both places. You're about in between Laki and the Gallon Republic, which was your original, the ship's original destination. That's where Aramis was taking his smuggled magical creatures, and you did successfully like you ascertained that there were a lot of locked up magical creatures in there, but none of them nearly as powerful as the Emperor Frog, which was contained in a tank itself. But yeah, he basically helps you suss out with the help of these maps that you're about in between these two large regions, and you could go either way. But the fact remains that you probably will not be able to make it to either place on time.
I don't see much reason for us to go to the Gallon Republic anymore. The main people we were hired by are no longer here, and their destination probably meant that's where they were planning to smuggle said magical creatures, and if we go there, might technically mean we've smuggled magical creatures ourselves. Probably best just to go back to the headquarters and let them know that, Gwaine died.
Yeah.
Having smuggled the frog over here already, we could just sell it.
I don't think that. I don't know about that. That's a big mate. This guy did save our lives. Just putting this out there.
I think I'd rather return it to its home.
Yeah.
No.
But
I'd much rather do that.
Simon, they were talking about some kind of swamp before you've been to. Where was that swamp located? Do you remember?
Oh, let me see. And he's like very frantic. He's like, I gotta remember it so that the captain thinks I'm cool. It was back in the Twin Isles, I believe.
The Twin Isles. That's
Okay.
that's a bit away.
Yeah.
Do we even have enough supplies for that distance and back? I don't think so.
We would definitely have
Can
to
our
stop
ship make
somewhere
it
on the
that
way.
The
Who
closest
has
is
Buru? Do you still have the bag?
I do.
Okay. And who has the shard? Suba, have you pocketed it, or had Alok put it away?
I didn't touch it. I was just looking at it.
Okay, you're just looking at it, and the letter has remained in the box.
Yeah, I guess I have the box and the letter.
Cool. Okay, just checking on some things.
So no one took the shard? If no one else would take it, then I would.
If you left it in the box, then I guess I have it, unless
Okay,
you
then
took
have
it out.
yeah.
Okay.
Alright, let's not decide anything too hasty until we get all the information we can. If you guys want to remain in here, that's fine. Simon, new
Yes.
task.
Yes, sir.
Learn these charts by heart. And
I will do my best, sir.
And I'll be going to the captain's quarters now to see what he had.
Cool. Do you all follow Gallet as he goes to the captain's quarters?
To talk to
Yep.
Simon real quick. Ask him to
Yeah.
find the nearest port.
Um,
Ask around on the crew if he has to. Mark it on the
Okay.
map for us.
The nearest port. He says the nearest major port. I guess we could turn back around to Adaport if we really had to. Or we could go straight to Palestrom, which was our original destination. Or, and well, this is a big if. He consults a bunch of like calendars and charts and stuff, like and marking stuff. If I'm not mistaken, the island of Lagan might be nearby at this time of year. And go
At
ahead
this
and
time
roll.
of year,
Yeah, go ahead and roll a history check to see if you know what that island is.
We all hear that?
11, 19. Okay. I would say the two of you kind of like get into a conversation about like, do you guys remember that place? Alok, you probably have not heard of this
What is
place.
wrong?
The
Yes!
dice are not kind to you, but you did get that finishing blow. So I don't know. Does
Yep.
it even out? Maybe.
I got one roll above 5. I'll take it.
So, Ruby, you have pretty good knowledge of this because at one point, the island of Lagan swung dangerously close. It kind of passed through nearby where your village is, and you heard talk about it. It is essentially a floating island, populated entirely by Warforged.
Yo.
Like they're like basically like sentient machines. But the Warforged in this universe are primarily made of wood, with a little bit of steel, like primarily wooden. And they have kind of like their own colony. Um, like they built this like massive floating city, and they take it in shifts to like man the machines that make the island move. And it follows a very set schedule as they go around the seas. And instead of like, you know, being a city that stays in one place and having ships go out and like barter and stuff, they just take their whole island with. But this place is massive enough that you could dock a ship there, and there's so much wood and supplies on the ship that reasonably you might be able to repair the ship that you're currently on.
are they friendly?
They're very neutral to most things. Very blunt, I would say. Perhaps not as observant of social norms or social etiquette. But they almost always mean well. They might just be very, very honest about what they're saying.
I think we
Yeah.
should go here, guys. Seems like
Uh,
a good place to just stock up. and
What's
stuff.
our plan with Frog? Not selling it, that means we're going to be keeping it around with us until we can presumably return it. Are we going to be broadcasting that we have a baby emperor?
That sounds
I'm gonna say no.
dangerous.
Maybe if we
For it
get
and
back
for
in
us.
touch with the shield, we can tell them. Anyone else?
the Shield does not have a headquarters in Lagan, the floating island.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of aware of its people. Some people are aware of its presence. A lot of people think it's a myth because it's very wacky that this thing exists. There would be Shield headquarters in Adaport, we had just come from, and there would be one in Palestrom, in the Gallon Republic. There would be one there as well, if you were looking to do that.
We're still gonna get paid. I don't know if this is a bad time to ask this.
That's
I
a
think the
valid
shield
point.
Could be payment. Right?
That's a valid point. You actually, you guys, as you're discussing this and like fussing over stuff, you go across the way down into Aramis's room, and you see this place is like very like the one room on the ship that is kind of luxuriously decorated. It's like, a lavish like 4-poster bed and like nice fluffy chairs, but they're all in like kind of bad condition. Like they once were super expensive and the height of fashion and luxury, and they kind of have worn away due to overuse or like battles on the ship that made its way down below deck. Um, Anybody who wants to roll an investigation check for me in Aramis's room.
Surely this
Do
will
it.
creeper. I expected as much.
Hey, Luck, how do you fix this?
Sorry, I'm still a little seasick.
Ruby, do you want to investigate or no?
I can.
20. Okay. How to adjudicate. Okay. Suma, you root around and beneath the bed, very predictably, is a small gilded chest. And you try to open it, but it is currently locked. But as you move it around, it does rattle with the sound of gold. And from your ears, it sounds like more gold than maybe you were initially promised on this job that Aramis has just left behind in his hurry to save his own skin. Ruby, you pause and you take a look. He has this wooden board, like an area set aside, and he has like maps and stuff like nailed to it with daggers because he's extra. Like a picture of himself with a bounty of like 2,000 gold on it. And he has like written in ink, like not high enough. And in one corner, you see distinctly not pinned by a dagger, but pinned with a very small needle, is a piece of parchment, and upon it is a drawing of a jewel. It is shaped. It's maybe like this big, this big. Um, and it is like whoever drew this was very talented. You're not sure if it was Aramis or Valere, but whoever did this is actually depicting this very well. It's translucent, and inside of it is like a swirling energy. Um, and you see scrawled underneath it, distinctly not in Valere's handwriting, in Aramis's in common, it says, um, only one can be active at once. TEOS. Kind of looks like.
ELS.
Question: would I be able to infer that that's a stone of wind turning, or whatever that would? I remember putting down notes for Gallon Republic has stone that can see the wind turning.
No, this is something else. The way that Aramis is writing about this, it is very clear that whatever this jewel is or this gem is, it is extremely valuable. Like he has things underlined. Some of his other scribbles are like kind of illegible. He seems to be whatever this is. This seems to be something that he's very fixated on. And all of you like discover this together. Gallet, you discover like part of an old navigation log that kind of recounts the travels of the ship from Tirai to the Twin Isles to Adaport, where he had departed from, and it stops there because he never got to fill in the rest of the travel log, as it were. So you have an idea of the path the ship has taken recently within the past year or so.
I'll hold up the box of what sounds like money, and I'll just say, "This might be our payment if anyone knows how to get inside." Although I also wonder if he compensates the crew in any way, and if I don't want to take what is theirs, but
Hmm.
I can try. I'm still a little sick, but
You totally have it. I believe in you,
I
Alok.
I've never
will.
had so much faith.
Alok, you have this down. This is gonna be the easiest thing of your life.
Okay.
Mm. In my head, it was 12.
He's not good on the water. He has seasickness. It's
Is
natural.
there a bucket nearby, like an empty bucket?
There's a
Wait.
window. Oh wait, no, the window was in the other room.
There is an old helmet with like spaces in it for where horns might come through. It is currently unused.
That's cool. I'm gonna throw up in that.
All right. You throw up, and you feel a little bit renewed. Go ahead and try again. Yeah, just try again.
Yeah.
He's coming back
Awesome.
with something in his eyes. Don't you all see?
Surely I rolled better.
Hey!
Oh my
There you go.
On the
But
second
seriously,
try.
though, how have you not rolled above a 10-1? Like, I think you
No,
got
I
it
got one.
once. Yeah, that was
One
the
roll
kid.
of 10. I've kept track of all my rolls. Yeah, it's
This
pretty bad.
is- whew.
On the second try, you are able to open it, and it is indeed it's a small chest, but it is filled with gold. After much clamoring about it, you see that it counts out to 120 gold pieces.
That's enough for the crew. That's enough.
Yeah. How much crew is there? Is there like
Or a
there's
lot
40 people,
for
right?
us.
Yeah, but around 40-ish people.
It's 3 gold per. We could do 2 gold per, and then we keep the last. However much that is, 40.
We'll have to put some aside also for ship repairs. They're not exactly
That's
free.
true. Maybe
I'm
1
so
gold.
surprised.
Let's do 1 gold for now. I'm pretty sure. As someone that
Should we
was
just ask
part of a
them?
you don't ask. Well, I mean, you might, but as my time as you know, a member of the crew, how much was I paid as like the lowest member of the ship?
Um, it depends on what you were doing at the time, and the captain you were under. I would say your captain was a pretty generous man in general. But your antics aboard his ship were often disadvantageous to the efforts of the ship being above water sometimes. Um, I would say he probably only paid you like a few silver pieces,
Yeah. Okay.
but that Alice, in his infinite generosity,
Well,
taking
that's
his
the first mate. That's
would give you some of his gold as well.
all right. So yeah. So it seems that it's sort of a tier system, usually amongst these boats, of who's more important than the others, what their role is, what they've accomplished. Good news is the first mate's gone, so it's just generally who's has an actual position, who others are just crew. So the chef would get more. Simon will probably have to get more now because he's a navigator. Someone's in
Good for
charge of
Simon.
armaments. Someone in charge of armaments, probably.
That would be Andros.
Andros, so Andros would get
The
more.
Minotaur man is kind of the muscle aboard ship.
And
And he would be in charge of keeping the armory where everyone would go to like store their weapons when they're not used now.
And I know nothing about her, but I assume Suzanne is something. So like, probably something more for her. So like, generally, anyone that sort of stands out on the ship in command's presence usually gets a bit more. So like 2 gold for them, 1 gold for everyone else.
When is payday? Like, when are we pulling this money out?
That's someone else to ask. I do not know if the captain can
Uh,
ask that.
When did wait, what'd you say? You said 2 to everybody and then 3 to the others, or
One.
1 and 2? Okay,
one
yeah,
and two.
I agree with that.
Just so we can if there's any complaints, they'll come to us and we'll see about it. But we're sort of in charge here. As when we get to port, we need to give them their money there because that's where they'll spend it.
Simon
there-
pokes his head in, trying to be helpful, and he says, I would probably just decide how much gold you all want to split amongst yourselves. And I can, I'm experienced with divvying up the bounty around here on ship. It'll be interesting trying to navigate how to divvy out the portions that used to be Captain Aramis's and First Mate Valaire's. But I guess I am the navigator now, so. But yeah, you will not be receiving the client pays you, and the client is no longer here. So you would not be paid upon arriving at Shield headquarters. Although you would gain, if this were a normal mission, you would gain standing within the guild after having completed a mission.
How much were we initially promised?
7 gold apiece.
Yeah.
How about 10
10
gold
gold.
apiece?
I think 10 sounds good.
10 gold apiece.
Okay. So each of you pockets 50 gold. Or sorry, all of you pocket 50 gold collectively. That leaves 70 for the crew. Simon
there's still
is
some for the ship. We're gonna have some funds left for the ship.
Mhm.
And
Simon
supplies.
hears you say that, and he's like, "Yeah, of course." And then he kind of starts scribbling math equations in his clipboard. But yeah, I think
God.
that does anybody have like things that they want to do on the ship? Anything that they want to achieve? We're gonna be leveling up to level 2 after that fight. So feel free to do that over the break. You can, yeah.
I would procure the captain's headquarters as my own until other further notice.
Incredible. Okay, cool.
Oh.
You claim that room for your own.
Oh, wait, so let me get this straight. He's going to sleep in the captain's quarter, and the rest of us are going to sleep in that tiny room we were originally assigned to. But
Valaire's room is also open and is
Yeah.
not claimed as of yet.
You can claim that room. Do you want to be first, mate?
I Captain.
Alright then. Alright, so that's your first mate. Ruby's the first mate. Anyone else have any specific things they're good at on a ship? I see Alok might be a good, scout. I don't remember the name of it, but you're on the top of the perch. You call land
The crow's nest.
The crow's nest.
Yeah.
You seem like a
Crow's
crow's nest
nest.
type of guy.
I'm not a very perceptive person, but I can try.
I think that you'll be fine. You know what?
I will do my best.
Alright, and Suma?
Honestly, none of my skills really translate to a ship position.
You're in charge of the log.
Very well. That I can do, yes.
And
Bookkeeping.
you're the man on the inside. You get to know about the crew. What's making them tick. Make sure there's no mutiny aboard. You good?
If you're talking, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
perfect.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go do that and then head downstairs and start following the crew and figuring out which ones I want to talk to.
Sure. Okay, so you have met Andros prior. You're aware of Suzanne, Simon now, Patrice or Pat the cook. Are you just looking around for people to talk to, or are there specific things you want to know about the ship and you're looking for people who would know about that thing?
I'm going to talk to Patrick, the cook, Patrice.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you ask him?
It's for dinner, boss.
You see him, and he's kind of like, with his pan, he's like doing a million things at once while also talking to you. Somehow there's like 6 frying pans. His hands are moving like out of blur, as he's like juggling all these tasks at the same time. He's like, well, I mean, we got some of the reserves. It's not the best food ever, but obviously the ship is in kind of a mess, and for some reason, the fish ain't biting. I mean, we've been trying. We've had people out on the deck trying to scrounge up some fish, but like it's nothing. The net's empty. So it's a struggle. So we're eating, and he kind of looks down. He kind of realizes, has like a realization that dawns over him that he is sautéing beef jerky in like old stew, just like the last of the reserve. Like, you know what I mean? Like very bare bones. Like, in emergency, you're gonna eat some beef jerky because you don't have any other fresh food. And he's like, we kind of splurged on the beans the other night.
Oh no.
Now that I think about it, that could have been rationed in a more efficient fashion. But I have no regrets personally. And this beef jerky soup is actually, it's a specialty of mine. There's no seasoning like poverty. You know what I mean?
Well, it smells delicious, boss. And I'm pretty pleased about the beans as well. We were thinking about heading out to the island of Lagan. Have you ever heard of it, or ever been there, or seen it on the coastline or our horizon?
He stops for a moment. He's like, yeah, I've only been on the ship 7 years, and I mean, not everybody's been on board the same amount of time, but you hear stories. Some members cycle through, some of them die, some of them, their debt gets paid, and they feel fit to leave the ship. But I heard a story from somebody that Aramis had a buddy there. Uh, Not a wooden machine person man. Some dwarf that lives over there. And he stopped by once. Don't really know why, but I remember that it was a great fuss to get the ship docked on a thing that is actively moving.
I bet. So about this crew, now that Arameus is gone, what do they want? Do they want to just leave once they get to shore?
He sighs and he says, well, look, Aramis did me a pretty big favor long time ago. And if he hadn't done that, I wouldn't be alive right now. But he's not the kind of guy to say things lightly. I mean, he'll lie, obviously, but you can always tell when he means something. And when he says our debts are paid, that means our debts are paid. Can't believe he'd ever say that, but I guess somebody must have said something to him, or I don't know if the situation was. Yeah, it's fucked. I don't even know what happened. You're talking about the fucking water turning red. I don't really, that's a fairy tale. I don't really believe in it, but I mean, I guess I'm just gonna try and find a cooking job at some castle or something. Maybe a couple of nobles out there might be more able to represent the people underneath their rule if they had a little bit of jerky soup. You know what I mean?
Sure, if you fed him those beans.
Or the beans. I mean, you gotta take it easy for you lead with the jerky, right? And then you hit them with the beans right when they're falling for your spell. Then they can never get out.
Have you been paid yet? What was his deal with payment? Have you guys usually get paid after the mission's done, or?
Yeah, well, we do different kinds of odd jobs, but usually the deal is once we get, the job done wherever it needs to be done, when we return back to the client, they pay us. And then Aramis and Valaire divvy it up amongst themselves, and we get a good cut, honestly. Uh, we don't really have to do any of the dangerous stuff most of the time. That's really those two for the most part. So it's good pay, and it's good people for the most part as well. Uh, but yeah, I don't imagine we'll be getting paid for anything now that I mean, if we're not heading to Palestrom, we're not getting paid. That's what the client is.
See you at dinner, boss, and then I'll head out.
All right, take care. Um, does anybody else want to do anything on the ship before? Have we decided where we want to go? By the way.
Don't think so.
Yeah, no, I think we need from if he tells us the information, I would then say, probably just add a port, because if it's difficulty to get on Lagan, bad ship, somewhat hurt. We probably need a bit more supply. It's probably just safest thing to go to Ediport and do everything legally with the animals we can there. The guild will be able to help
Okay.
us because there's a guild quarters, and we have enough
But
money.
we need a mission, so
We also might not be able to make it back to either port.
Do we have enough?
that's true.
Do we have enough supplies for that? I mean, we have to get to the nearest port then. And I also assume Lagan is like, I don't know how we can be assured that if it's like a legend, its current route must be weird.
Yeah, some people have been there. You get the sense that maybe Simon um knows enough about it, but maybe hasn't actually seen it in person. He seems relatively confident though. Um I will say that currently both Adaport and Palestrom are out of reach because of the speed at which you are going. But if you were to move faster, you would be able to make it to either place. Or if you were to stock up and potentially repair your ship at Lagan,
Yeah.
you would be able to
Okay, so
then.
Lagan is within distance. It is just hard.
It's within distance. It's just like you have far less of an idea of what's actually going on there. Like what kind of food do they have? What kind of food do Warforged eat? Do they eat food? Like,
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's a merchant island, so I assume they still have things. Just yeah.
yeah, so they might not all have
Is
food.
there a potentially safer option than Lagan of a port nearby?
If you're looking for like a big port, like where like you'll have easy access to be able to resupply and to like potentially fix the ship and be able to get back on your way out, at a good speed, I would say those are kind of your only two options. If you want to try and rough it, like spend more time at in a closer island, you could also do that.
I
It's just like maybe it would be a lot more effort to find someone who would be able to fix the ship, maybe more effort to collect supplies, etc.
Lagan? I just look at everyone. Lagan?
My vote's for Lagan.
That's another option.
Okay, then we'll have Simon charter the course.
Cool, awesome. Um, so uh, business on the ship resumes to as normal as it can be. You all kind of have these impromptu positions on the ship. Gallet, having given Aramis a very convincing speech, have been awarded the title of captain, which feels a little arbitrary. Like you're just wearing a hat, but everyone
Yeah,
seems to take it very much at face value.
they need someone to
Um,
follow, I guess.
yeah, you learn a couple things about the crew, and they seem to like be in good spirits around you all. Um, and the trip is for the most part quiet. So I think yeah.
I just wanted in one of the nights in the captain's quarters. On one of his desks, I probably have like a little setup for the frog to be resting in like a low light area, having some water
Perfect.
nearby.
Yeah, yeah. I want to say, uh, let's say Simon knows a cantrip or two, and he actually like cast mending on some of those glass shards, and formed a smaller makeshift tank, for the frog to just kind of. It seems happier.
Okay.
It seems like, the color of its skin is a little more robust than it was before.
And during one of the nights, I just take off my captain's hat and I undo my ring and look at it, and I just ask, "Well, I'm a captain. Does that? Can you bring him back now? Or does this counts as earned, right?
Um,
I've survived the Red Wraith. Can you give something?"
the only response you hear is a voice. You are a captain in name only. You should have died out there. It's a miracle that you didn't. In fact, if that old man hadn't given so much of himself to make sure you stayed alive, perhaps this ring would be on somebody else's finger right now.
And I put the ring back on, put the hat to the side, and go to bed.
All right. You do remember though, the longer you spend on the ship though, the more you feel a certain tingling coming from it, as if it is sensing something. Not directly from your patron, but from something else.
It's the way of the captain.
Yeah, it's the weight of leadership.
Yeah.
Uh sorry, she is not easily
Yeah.
pleased.
Yeah,
She's
no.
not easily pleased. Um
It doesn't feel like he's earned it either, but he was hoping in name it would work.
he was hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think deep down he knew.
Oh, he knows. He knows.
um cool. Actually, I'm gonna give you inspiration for that. That was really cool. I felt that. I really did. Cool. Is anybody else? Ooh.
We lost Ruby.
No, we lost Alok. Oh boy.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Now we lost her too.
Whoa, whoa.
That's crazy.
Got bored. Left.
Let's see if we can wait for him to come back. Oh, it says he's offline on Discord as well.
He might. Does anyone know where people live? Because like, if he's in Texas, they might have just turned off the power.
I want to say he's on the East Coast. I think.
Okay.
Is he? Man, I don't exactly remember.
California.
I don't remember where he's at. But yeah, I think that's.
Said he had bad
that's-
Wi-Fi, so
Yeah, maybe like what happened to me last time.
Mhm.
Laptop overheating whilst doing Discord for some reason. I did want to like stop here. And thank you all for a great session. It's my first time running combat on Roll20, so sorry for the little bit of a bumps because I wasn't really sure how things worked, but yeah, you guys kicked ass in that fight.
Was fun. Yeah.
Thanks, it was awesome.
Last.
It was fun how the flag caught on fire. I like.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
one. I like it. That was fun. Yeah, I enjoyed this.
Yeah. I'm glad.
Do we level up?
yeah.
Yeah, you may level up now.
Do we roll for health or do we take the middle?
I'll let you decide if you want to risk it.
I'm not risking. Nope.
You better risk rolling the
not a
lowest number.
risker.
You're welcome to. You don't have to though.
Okay. I will. I'm good.
I guess I'll ask Ryan afterwards how he feels. But so when I had put up the looking for group post, I had mentioned that I wanted to do 3 weeks on, 1 week off. So to make sure that we played consistently, but like wouldn't get burnt out from like never having like a scheduled break. So we've kind of had 3 sessions if you count session 0. I guess my question was, do you guys want to count session 0 as like part of that 3, or do you want to do like one more week and then take a break, or does this feel like a
keep
good?
going, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to maybe like we don't have to answer right now. Maybe like I'll put like a poll or something. But I think once we have like, I think this is the only kind of question mark, except maybe like when holidays like come around. I'm hoping it goes that long. But yeah. Thank you all for a great session. If you have any questions about like lore or confusion about anything that was said or what happened, let me know. If you have any feedback, please let me know. And yeah. I'll probably stay on the
Yeah,
call.
just like a couple of like one-off like behind the scenes that I would probably send you just to like let you know what's happening in the downtime. But
okay. Probably related to a certain.
yeah.
Okay.
I wonder what the heck that thing does. We got a bag of wind and a rock.
Yeah, we did not open the bag of wind, did we? We didn't, did
I
we?
was waiting for Ruby to do it. It felt like it was gonna give a power, and she was really into the wind stuff, so I didn't really touch that.
I mean, ooh, is he back?
Yes,
Think
I
so.
don't know. My internet
Hello.
just cut out straight up.
Oh,
That's valid.
sorry.
A
There's
lot of
of
places.
snow. Yeah.
Oh yeah, huh?
Well, not in Texas, but yeah. Anyways.
We were discussing because I remember I had mentioned about how we were gonna do 3 sessions on, 1 week off. Like discussing, I guess bringing up like, hey, I'm probably gonna put up a poll to see if we want to count session 0 as a session in that 3. So like, should next week be off, or should we do 1 more and then take a week off? And we're talking about the bag of wind that nobody has opened yet.
I was wondering if that's what that was or something, but
Who has it now?
Last I checked, Buru had it. I don't think he had passed it on to anybody at this point in time.
I do. I have not passed it on to anyone. Not super keen on holding on to it though. If anyone.
Well, I was asking because I have the identify spell, and I would love to try it out on that bag if you would let me.
Go for it.
What? A wizard that's prepared? No way.
A concept.
I am prepared with flames and information collecting spells, and that is all.
Awesome.
So that is what it does.
This is a bag that has this very special quality of being able to store wind inside of itself, and the ability to let it out once it has been stored. So it's basically like a battery, and I guess. Yeah. You can tell from casting your spell that there is an immense amount of wind stored up in this bag, and perhaps one of the reasons why Valer had kept it in her very personal and private box with her letter to her missing brother is that it is very powerful and perhaps to be used in extraordinary situations, perhaps when the ship needs to move very fast, or she needs to just jump over a mountain or something real fast. Probably not a mountain, but yeah. You can also tell that while a wind cloak would be able to charge it very quickly using their own like reserves of their special magic, this thing, if it is carried around in the Gallon Republic where it was crafted initially, would recharge by itself. Without the assistance of somebody else like having to actively charge it up, I guess.
Is there a maximum amount of charge, or can you constantly dump into it?
Were you a wind cloak, you would be able to just constantly do it, but the more you put in there, the kind of harder it is to control how much you are pushing out. So she has put a decent amount, like it could power a ship for a good amount of time against the current if you really needed to go that way. That is the function of this bag. It's kind of a break in case Valer is knocked out and does something,
Or abandons the ship,
or abandons the ship, etc.
If she told
You
us
could
that,
use them to go straight.
yeah,
But
it would be. I think it would be good if we were using it to go to Palestrom, because then once it had been expended, like we'd be in the Galen Republic and it would be recharging.
This is true. Yeah, I will also say that you do not have to necessarily make this decision right now in this moment. If feels like there's a lot of factors to consider, you can maybe like do it like in one of the text Discord channels, just to kind of be like, hey, this is what we're doing as we're traveling, type of thing. If you ever want to do that kind of thing, you can like message me directly, or you can do it in the I think I named it Between Adventures. Be like, hey, I want to try fishing. Like, what happens? And I'd be like, yeah, roll for it. Let's see what happens. But yeah.
if Sumo showed us that she could identify, if I asked her to identify the rock, would she be up for that, or is it sort of a situation like you already know, you just don't really want to?
Yeah, I can do that. Do you mean the shard that was in her box?
Yeah, that's a weird shard, and you had a weird reaction.
That is true. Well, I guess I don't know. It's yeah. Does it look like the one that I have? That's what I think is related to it.
Whatever whatever they're made of, it's the same thing.
Okay.
It's not identical, but it
Mhm.
looks like if you told me these two things broke off of the same big piece, I would believe you.
Interesting. So yeah, I wonder. I would like to try identifying it. I'm curious because I assume that if Suma had access to identify, he would have already tried it on his one, but can't hurt.
I would say perhaps holding two in your hand allows you to more accurately like compare and assess what is going on with these things. You gain the sense that whatever this is, it doesn't really do anything on its own. It's more like part of something that does something. But these shards themselves are inert. They were just components of perhaps a spell or contraption or some kind of thing that does have a magical function. You gain the sense that one side is like flat and the other side is like smoother, and you notice that the magical traces are coming more from the flat side than the smooth side, as if this flat side is supposed to be facing in and the smooth side is supposed to be facing out, and whatever the magic is doing, it's doing it inward. But I would say that without access to maybe more of these shards, or like a real thing, like before it had been broken, it may be difficult to ascertain what exactly it does.
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah.
That's weird, but okay.
Any other question?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Cool. Well, that being said,
Wait, question.
yeah.
For the whole group,
Okay.
really. Frog names. Anyone got any good frog names? I'm thinking it's a good frog name that we need.
I actually have a confession.
Ah.
I own a frog. I really love them. I think they're neat. And I have a frog, and her name is Ophelia. And so
Pretty.
that's my literal frog's name. I don't know if you would name this frog that, but throwing it out there.
How do you
You know what,
it?
Gallet? I have an idea. What
Okay.
about Ophelia?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
It's realistic. It's grounded.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
It
The
is.
frog name.
It's
Is
tragic.
Ophelia a boy or a girl? Our
Um,
Ophelia.
you get the sense that these frogs don't really fuck with gender very much.
Yeah.
But
There you go.
We don't fuck with that.
Orphelia is a non-binary frog. All right.
Yes,
yeah,
on.
that is good.
or really
I love
names
them.
really, but I think the more you call it Ophelia, the more they're like, yeah, I'm cool with that name. Like, I'm essentially a magical being, but like I'm also very cute, so I
Yeah.
acquiesce to this. Um,
I'm adorbs.
yeah.
Were the skeletons that attacked, were they wielding anything, swords, or was it just clawed hands?
They were mostly attacking with just their clawed hands,
Okay.
and if not, bone clubs.
Okay.
But most of the smaller ones wielding the bone clubs got kind of wiped out before they could do anything. Thankfully. I hope that wasn't too stressful.
No, I enjoyed it.
Is that
It's down to 2
I was a
HP.
little
But...
scared at first.
Really? Wow.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
My God.
You took
Like-
a lot of hits. Took a lot of hits.
Did everyone get the temporary HP?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all you did.
Oh, we all
Wow,
did.
and you still went to 2?
I thought me and Suma got the haste, but not the HP because we.
Oh,
weren't
you
there.
got it as well.
Mhm.
Oh,
You got it as well.
we did, which was why I was staying very far away.
I did not know.
Oh, my bad. I mean, I think
It's
it's
all good.
also. I think it's fair to say that he kind of cast it on the people who were around at that time. You guys came late.
Yeah.
If it didn't affect the fight, then it didn't affect the
I
fight.
did. No.
You know, we'll let's just say let's like canonize it that neither of you got the temporary hit points.
Yeah, you got hit a lot. I went 1 HP under after the 15 temporary.
Yeah, I had 1 hit point done in actuality.
I had planned on taking a health potion right before I jumped over the barrels onto the top deck to punch the skeleton lord. But I forgot.
Buru, after you had imbibed that potion and felt that weird bubbly feeling, I would say at this point you probably maybe during your exercise as a monk you would like have like swam in the sea. That potion gave you a temporary water breathing spell as
Neat.
well.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's big.
cute little
Yeah.
utility thing.
That's
Like maybe for like an hour or two.
Okay.
That's huge.
Way huge.
Man, level 2 is a nice level for me.
Yeah. Honestly, I considered just jumping to 3 and being like, that was so traumatic that you actually leveled up to 3. But like actually absorbing like Gawain's kind of like spiritual essence, like you stole his levels. And now you jump to 3.
One of the
But
worst
I think
things that ever happened to him.
I think he kind of blames himself because he essentially used you as bait for whatever
Yeah.
was killing newbies. He used you as bait, and I think he felt a responsibility to that.
The unfortunate thing is he didn't actually solve the issue.
Yeah,
He
we still
No.
have to deal with
He
that.
found the
Probably.
issue. It's still there. He's just dead now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I will
It's-
say
we will
though,
see that guy again.
Oh yeah, but he's
Most
gonna be
likely.
all like red and foggy and attacking us. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it is unknown at this point what triggers his appearance, if anything particular does trigger it, or if it's just like wrong place, wrong time. Sorry about it. I will say though, Buru, you had asked this question. I don't say people's names, I just say character names. You asked the question about were there any symbols left, I believe, on the corpses.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
ask that?
No, I didn't. But I will ask that. I'm pretty sure the skeleton lords, they turned into dust, right?
Yeah, or you had said if anything was about the bodies that were left for the shield of Celestia, the newbies' bodies.
Oh yeah,
If anything was left for them. I would say that probably in the time that you spent in town, like before the mission had actually happened, you would have learned that these bodies were found with that same symbol of an eye with a pupil with a like a swirling pattern inside of it.
Yeah, and in case anyone was curious, this is what I rolled tonight. 1 dice above 10.
Woof.
Oh, you can check that?
Oh yeah, if you hover over like the number, it says what you rolled on it.
Oh, that's crazy. But you got the killing blow. I feel like that was so like narratively speaking.
Somehow.
Like I feel like I can see the scene of like the first couple attacks missing everything and the final headshot.
Next time, buddy. Next time.
Probably bad.
Yeah. It worked out really well too. I didn't realize you had so much radiant damage. I didn't know guiding bolt did 4d6. That's kind of insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy
still
how
has
the
two.
cleric was really good against skeletons and undead. Took me
Yeah,
by
who would've thought?
surprise.
But yeah, glad. I'm glad that we were able to do the encounter.
Yeah, I'm glad nobody died.
Well,
I was.
Someone. I mean,
Someone did die.
He was his bait. If he hadn't have died, I was gonna ask him for more money.
Valid. But if he hadn't died, you all probably would have died without the 10.
I don't know. We were
HP.
killing it. I'm just putting it out. I think we could have taken.
Yep.
He's a level 3. It's just the red wraith.
Cool. Yeah. I think that's gonna be it for the official session. If you guys want to stick around and just hang out, that's cool too. But thank you for a really great session. Let me know if there's any questions you have about like leveling up, like if you want to do a certain thing, like take a certain spell or anything like that. I'm pretty like open to most things.
I have wish.
You can wish really hard for it. I'll get back to you.
You do not want wish. I'm gonna let you know. Gallet has experience. It's just not. You don't want it.
In your form? Or just got that?
Wish you wish for it.